Hi, Dr. Ron here at the start of another week. Nice to see you all and hope that the coming week will be a good one for you. Earlier today, I started thinking a little bit about history, specifically my history, and before I got into health psychology, which was before I got into uh, positive psychology and then looking at active aging, I actually did a fair amount of career counseling, helping people decide on how they were going to evolve their own lifespan choices. And while it may seem kind of inconsistent with some of the later work, I think everything was built on each other, that basically wanted to always help people to achieve their best self however they did it in terms of career, health, or whatever. And I kind of evolved a philosophy of helping people make the choice to try things, to not overblow in their minds how important it is to always take the safe path. Now, there are a lot of dumb mistakes that people can make, and I've made my share of them. And I do think that it's important to evaluate the evidence, the opportunities, and so on, and what are the chances. Whether we're choosing a career, whether we're deciding where to go on a vacation, whether it's choosing a life's partner, whether it's associating with some people, whether it's purchasing a house, uh, deciding whether to purchase or rent, lots of major decisions. And what you want to be able to do is eliminate or reduce the chances of making a dumb decision, but then don't overthink the negative consequences of making a decision that may prove to be wrong. Think about whether what you're thinking about is attainable, is it reasonable, and do you really want it as opposed to meeting somebody else's needs or desires? And if the answers are yes, and if the consequences aren't terrible, then go for it. I developed kind of a mantra that I would use with uh, clients in those days, career counseling clients, that you can always do what you don't want to do. Just don't make that your first choice. And again, whether we're talking about careers, whether we're talking about anything, evaluate what the options are, what the information is, and look into your own thinking to make sure, is this something that you really want, or is it something that somebody else has held out as a standard? And if you really want it, and if some people are going to achieve it, why not you? And sometimes you're going to miss. Sometimes you're not going to get what you really want. And in those cases, you may have to settle for something that you don't want, but you know that you didn't have to uh, because you eliminated yourself from the competition. It's a lot easier to live with a second or third choice if you know that you made an honest attempt at the first choice. Too many people decide the safe way when the best way may not be all that unsafe, and when the consequences get you back to the same place. You fall short of making the first choice, and consequently you wind up making a choice that isn't as favorable to you, but was always there. Now you know you're stuck with it. Now you know you may have to settle for it, or maybe not. Maybe there's another better choice. Once you start thinking in terms of the fact that you don't have to choose to do something that you don't want to do before trying out things that you may want to do. You may find that there are more paths to get to your goal or ways of modifying your goal than you might have originally thought. This is kind of a general presentation because each of us have our own sets of choices, but I hope you could relate to it and maybe even use it going forward. And once again, I hope you will join us at the mental health gym, and I hope some of this registers so that you will make some reasonable choices, and if something is attainable, if something is in line with your desires, give it a try, recognizing that you may or may not make it, but the consequences are ones that you can handle. On that note, this is Dr. Ron Kaiser signing off. Have yourselves a great day and great week, and look forward to talking with you next time.